You know, really cold weather sends most folks scurrying for the fireplace, for the warmth of the den, for football on television, but to those of us who love to hunt and fish, it sends us to the field and to the lake to do what we love best. Coming up on this week's show, we're going to talk about a fish that loves to bite fishing lures in the cold weather. Fox Sports Outdoors is coming up next.
It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Southwest.
Winter weather came early and hit hard across the South and Southwest regions this season. It's not even winter yet, but it really does feel like it. Let me show you what it's done. This park behind me is normally full of kids playing and dogs running, campers, people grilling on those barbecue grills, sitting around those picnic tables, campfires everywhere, and as you can see behind me, it is a completely deserted scene. The early winter weather this season has done one really nice thing for you and me, people that love to fish. It's left all that water out there and all those fish just for you and just for me. And it's to that end on this week's show that we're going to go fishing for a species of fish that bite better in cold than they do in the heat. It's the smallmouth bass, and they're located in lakes across many parts of our South and Southwest regions. To that end, we've come to just one of those lakes. It's in east central Oklahoma. It's called Lake Eufaula. It's a very unique lake, but it's got a great population of smallmouth bass. On this week's episode, we'll go out there, show you a few tips and techniques how you can catch some of those, not only here, but in any lake across the region that has smallmouth bass. And while we're out there, we're taking you around your local region for your favorite fishing reports from your local lakes, rivers, and bays from our expert team of insider reporters. Got the cold weather gear ready to go. We're going to get the Nitro Z8 launched right out there to Lake Eufaula and tell you a lot about it. Right now, though, we're going to get you back to the FSN studios for your weekend planning.
The Salooner tables are anticipating a fantastic opportunity for anglers this weekend. Excellent game fish activity is predicted to begin on Saturday morning at 9:50, and Sunday is projected to have the best conditions of the month, with peak times starting at 10:43 a.m. Look for sunrise to take place on Saturday at 7:16 in the morning, with sunset happening at 5:21 p.m. And evening skies should be bright, with a full moon on Saturday. We'll be right back with all of the current fishing reports from around the area. And I'll return with two-time Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Aaron Martin, for this week's Ask the Pro.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Welcome to the big leagues.
Oh, that's a fish. Golly. That's a smallie. Wow. Nice smallie right there. Oh, don't you get off. Oh, he pulled off right in the boat. All right. There's what we came to Lake Eufaula for. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Smallmouth bass fishing on a really cold, dreary, blustery, windy, nasty kind of a day, but that's what we came to do right there. That's a good chunky smallmouth bass. They love this cold, I tell you. All right, well, let me explain to you about Lake Eufaula if you've never been here. It's really like three different lakes. It's got two big arms that feed all the way back up to Highway 69. So if you've driven by this lake several times, that's probably the part of the lake you've seen between Tulsa and McAllister, Oklahoma. You cross over several of those arms and you've looked over and said, wow, that's a muddy lake. It is just red rolling mud a lot of the year all through those two arms. But they neck down into a little chute or a little narrows area, and then it opens back up into another big wide part of the lake, and that's where we are, and it's gin clear here. So it's really very ultra murky or all the way to muddy, the two main arms, but then the lower end is crystal clear. And down here, the cover goes from flat sand and mud up there to rock. This is the kind of rock that smallmouths love. All right, let's get you some fishing and lake reports from your local area. Got one smallmouth in the boat already on a really nasty day. Let's check right now on your local reports from Oklahoma. Here's Gary Dolan.
Hey, our water temperatures here in Oklahoma got into that mid to upper 40-degree range in a hurry thanks to that Arctic blast that came through here about 3 weeks ago. Really dropped them down there, but you know what? I like this time of year for fishing. It allows me to do something I really like to do, and that's fish deep, open water. Now, also some of the recent rains we've had over the past several days has also mean we have some current going on in some of the river systems too. Now, while it may have muddied those up for our white bass and crappie fishing, it's made the catfishing really good in that. Most people don't think of catfish in the wintertime. December is an excellent catfish month here in Oklahoma. In the river systems, you can fish from the bank, you can fish from a boat. What you want to do is get in front of those laydowns, logs, brush piles, whatever, that you can fish in front of so that that current is carrying that bait scent into that brush pile or to whatever type of cover is there. It'll pull them out. You'll find that's really good fishing at this time. The other way is to fish deep. Now, especially our blue cats will really school up in the month of December. It seemed like the magical depth is 40 feet. Use good sonar, get down in the deep part of the lake, kind of down in front of the dam area, find those great big schools of shad. I mean humongous schools of shad. I don't care if they're 40 feet deep or 60 feet deep, fish at a depth of 40 feet. Those blue cats like to get and hang above those big schools of shad. You can catch those fish. Bass fishing right now, you can still catch them on the chunk rock baits. Go with your smaller 3 to 4 inch soft plastics peg, Texas rig, or a jig head with a grub such as their rod grub. Great time of year to be fishing, but one thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Got him. Not big. Oh, it's a crappie. Goodness, look at the size of that crappie. Holy mackerel. Man. All right, well, there is a bonus. Anytime you're fishing with a rally grub, you can catch a walleye, you can catch a crappie, you can catch a white bass, you can catch a striper, you can catch a largemouth, a smallmouth, even a catfish. They all bite it. Look at the size of that dude right there. That one's going in the live well, and who knows, might catch a couple of more before the day's out. Stay with us. We'll be back to beautiful Lake Eufaula, east central Oklahoma. Talk some more about smallmouth bass fishing right after this. Don't go anywhere. Look at that. Got him. Way out there deep. Smallie. Nice little smallie. All right. There's one more for you. Glad to have you along, everybody, on Lake Eufaula in the east central part of Oklahoma. I had a chance to pre-fish a little bit for about a half a day yesterday. Came out here and got a chance to look around. I've been on Eufaula before, but always in the upper arms, never big down here in the big main part of the lake where all these smallies live. So this has been a real treat for me. Let's talk a little bit about the types of cover that you catch smallmouth out of. If you haven't fished for smallmouth very much, it's always going to be a gravel, sand, or rock type of a deal. They don't much go for wood cover. They don't go for mud bottoms. They typically love these kind of banks right here. This right here falls off into, I'm in 60 feet of water right now. Now I'm not throwing in that depth of water. You want to be off some kind of a drop off, a point, a ledge, a shelf, big boulder, rocks, and you always want to be around fairly deep water. Now I'll tell you this, these fish right now, most of the bites that I've had and the few that I caught yesterday were in 16 to 20 feet of water. But once it really starts getting cold, smallmouths can go really, really deep. I mean, you can catch them down 40 feet deep sometimes. Time now for some more fishing and lake reports from your local area. Let's go to Louisiana with Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Whew, it's been some cold fronts coming through here. It has not deterred the fishing though. The only thing you gotta watch out for is don't go fishing the day the cold front blows through, because what happens is the wind's blowing horrible, 20, 30 miles an hour. It's cold, and I tell you what, it muddies up the water pretty bad. Right now, a lot of duck hunting going on all across the state. We talked to Captain Bill Lake down in Houma. He's been duck hunting in the morning, coming in, going fishing, catching lots of reds, lots of speckled trout. Over in Delacroix, we talked to Chris Pike. We talked to him. He's catching lots of fish after he's coming in from duck hunting. He said that duck hunting is fantastic over there. Captain Britt Ardez over at Shell Beach. I tell you what, friends, over there, same thing. Britt's shooting ducks in the morning, catching lots of fish, lots of redfish, lots of speckled trout. So really, friends, all across the state of Louisiana right now, it's good. Bass fishing, so-so. You know, you go after a front, pretty much you can count it out. But keep in mind, these cold fronts are going to kill the shad. The shad are going to fall. Good idea to get around a creek bottom, get in 20, 25 foot of water, drop you a spoon like a Mr. Chap spoon, something with a treble hook, drop it down, let it flutter, pick it up, let it flutter, pick it up, let it flutter. Those bass think it's a shad dying. They're going to jump all over. So right now, hunting's great, fishing's great. Come on down to Louisiana and enjoy yourself.
Hey, before we head to the next break, I want to show you something right quick. I mentioned that I came about a half a day early yesterday and got to fish and do a little bit of scouting before the show. Before our big camera was here, I had my little GoPro camera with me, stuck it on one of the windshields. Totally different day, as you can see. Bright sunlight, the fish were out in fairly deep water, catching them the same kind of way, catching them on that little rally grub. Also caught several fish on a drop shot rig. These fish are in this lake in big numbers, as you can see, and caught a couple of nice smallmouths, including one that was pushing about 3 pounds or so yesterday. And we've had a great day so far today. We never can show you all the fish we catch in the short window of time we have here. Caught a lot of smallmouths, a few largemouths, and even a couple of spotted bass. We'll be right back for more from Lake Eufaula, Oklahoma, right after this.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Mercury Marine, celebrating 75 years of marine excellence. By Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. By Tracker Boats, it's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. And by Whataburger. Get your day started at Whataburger with the new jalapeno cheddar biscuit.
Got him. Wow, he's fighting hard. What a smallie, man. Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. Got him. Look at that toad. Oh, it's a giant smallie. My goodness. Look at that big sucker there. Hitting my little rally grub. All right, I changed colors and I'll tell you about that a little later. But look at this. I have caught myself a whopper of a smallmouth bass. Son, that's a 5.5, 6 pound smallie right there. One of the bigger ones I've ever caught. That's awful cool. We're releasing all our smallmouth bass so they stay in the lake. This is a great fishery right here. And away he goes. I've established that the fish today are in anywhere from 18 to 22 feet of water, something like that. So what I do is I don't cast straight in at the shoreline. I look at my depth until I pull back and I find that right depth, which is around 20 feet or so. And once I get in that, then what I do is I cast downwind and parallel with the shore. So you can see I'm casting straight in front of the boat, and I let that grub go all the way to the bottom, but I don't let it stay on the bottom. All these rocks, it'll get snagged down there. So as soon as it ticks the bottom, then I raise that rod tip high, and I use mostly the reel handle and a little bit of swimming motion with my rod tip to keep that grub off the bottom and keep it moving. Let's get you some more fishing and lake reports from your local area. Let's go to Texas with Brian Hughes in freshwater and Bill Olson on the coast.
Hi folks, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Kickin' Bass Fish Attractants. Now this week we're on Lake LBJ on the Colorado River, and when I come to LBJ, I like to find a nice quiet creek or cove, like here at Log Country Cove, where I can get away from the wakeboarders and jet skiers out on the main river. Now I'll get up in here with either a 4-inch Cinco or Bass Assassin type swim bait, Texas rigged without a weight along this creek, or I'll use a shad colored spinnerbait to try and lure these bass out onto my line. Now the crappie fishermen may want to go up the river a bit where the highways and railroads cross the lake and fish those brush piles and pilings along those bridges. Now over on Lake Fork, it's crappie time. Remember, December 1st through the end of February is your crappie retention period. That is, the minimum leak limit has been suspended and you must keep the first 25 you catch. You'll find them up by the dam where the Armada is homed. A lot of boats, be polite, go and share Lake Fork crappie. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Kickin' Bass Fish Attractant. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, as we start the last month of the year, this crazy weather pattern continues and we have a forecasted warm-up. Take advantage of these days and look for redfish to move up on shallow flats to feed. Don't expect speckled trout to be as eager to move up, as they will try to hold in deeper water around holes or channels throughout the winter months. Now, when fishing deeper water, increase the weight of your jig head to get the bass assassins down to the fish. Also work the bait slowly, almost dead sticking the bait, and let the current move the tail as you slowly inch the bait along the bottom. All along the coast, and particularly from Port O'Connor to Port Isabel, look for a topwater bite to occur during the warmest part of the day. Slow sinking baits will work well for specks around deeper reefs and in the channels. Look for passes and jetties to be good places to catch a variety of fish when conditions warm. San Luis Pass and Coal Pass provide the deep water as well as warmer temperatures from the Gulf, with areas around Bastrop and Christmas Bay as prime examples of shallow water areas close to deeper water. These are great places to catch a mixed bag of trout, redfish, and black drum. Out of Port Isabel, the Brownsville Ship Channel turns on this time of year. Fish the flats in the coves along the edge of the ship channel. Offshore, tuna become the primary target for offshore anglers. During the winter months, both blackfin and yellowfin tuna are available. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Luz, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. By Aransas Electronics, find, navigate, dominate. By Fort Worth Nissan, Fox Sports Outdoors is powered by Fort Worth Nissan.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Whataburger Ask the Pro. This week's question is from John, who asks, what does a fish do after it's released? For the answer, we checked with 2-time Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Aaron Martin.
I mean, I know some fish bite possibly the same day if you got a bait right in front of them or reaction at them, but I think most fish will kind of sit and shock for a little while, maybe a day or two. But definitely within a day or two, you start catching them again. But I know a lot of fish in those situations, that those fish that go through that, a lot of them will start to pack or get in small schools and swim.
Thank you, Aaron. If you have a question for one of the anglers, visit our website, follow the Ask the Pro link on the right side of the page, and let us know. Now let's see which viewer wins the Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest is Blake Kendrick of South Lake, Texas. He's shown here with his 30-pound redfish he caught at Point Allahash, Louisiana, out in the marsh on an 8-weight fly rod. If you'd like to have a chance to be our next winner, all you have to do to enter is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, and on the right-hand side of the front page is the Costa Catch of the Week area. Click in that, send us your big fish photo, and you could be our next winner. And if you want to see all of the Costa products, you can go to their website easily by going back to the front page of our website and clicking on the Costa logo. It's there that you can see all of the Costa frame and lens styles, including the fantastic ones that I was wearing on this week's episode. They're called Rockport in the camo pattern. Next up on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, it's the right gear to catch these nice smallmouth bass, not only here at Lake Eufaula, but at your favorite lake that has smallies as well. This is one of the first chances that I've had to fish the Luz Laser SL Speed Stick rod. It's very identifiable, by the bright red color. Got a lot of great backbone, a beautiful soft tip, micro guides for long cast, everything you would want in a fantastic spinning rod, and it's matched perfectly with the Lew's Speed Spin 300 spinning reel. That's the one that I was using matched with it today. We had that spooled up with Stren Original 8-pound test clear monofilament line. Did a great job in this ultra clear water at Lake Eufaula. I want to show you a couple of the baits that you can catch these smallies on. First of all, we talked some about the Rally Grub. It's made by the Gene LaRue Lure Company. We rigged it on a 1/4 ounce regular lead head. Then we caught some on a drop shot rig. As you can see, the tungsten drop shot weight at the bottom, the drop shot hook about 18 inches above that. We rigged that with the Gene LaRue Tattletale plastic worm, a little soft finesse worm that's perfect for these smallies. And you can also catch them on a hardhead biffle bug rig, which is a little bit heavier, 3/8 to 1/2 ounce hardhead with a swivel hook on the back of that. Then you rig it with a regular sized Gene LaRue biffle bug. Just a few weeks ago, we celebrated Veterans Day here in this country, and the night before Veterans Day, I watched the movie Lone Survivor again for the second time. First time I saw it in the theater, second time I watched it at home. And I was impressed all over again and awestruck at the sacrifice and the service that these military veterans make, being taken away from all the comforts we have here in America and shipped off to some God-forsaken place to do a job that nobody else wants to do. And I, for one, will never ever forget the job that our military veterans do. So, from each of us here at Fox Sports Outdoors, to any one of you who have ever served in any branch of our military, thank you very much for the service and the freedoms that you've provided for me for the rest of our country. Hey, I hope you enjoyed our trip here to beautiful Lake Eufaula. As you can see, we've used up our daylight. It's about to get dark, but we've had a great time catching a lot of smallmouth bass, largemouth, spotted bass, and even some nice sized crappie. And you can use these same techniques to go and catch smallmouth bass at any lake near you that has a population of these hard-fighting game fish. Hey, don't forget that next week is the last episode of our 2014 season. For this year, we'll be taking a short break and coming back in 2015. You can do two things. Number one, be sure you're following us on Twitter. We'll be putting up lots of news and photos and videos to keep you informed during the off season and telling you about the launch of our 2015 season. Second thing you can do is go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com, click the sign up link, sign up to become a member. It's free, and you'll get our newsletter. During the off season, we'll be sending that newsletter out periodically to give you updates on the fishing, but also to tell you about the launch of our 2015 season. And don't forget, it's a little treat next week. It'll be our end of season episode with highlights from the entire year, lots of big fish, and even some funny bloopers along the way. Till then, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.